Hi, I'm Kyle Gearhart, and this is my presentation for my learning strategy. The learning strategy that I chose to base this lesson around was Reader's Theater. Now, the lesson that I constructed for this, for the teaching demonstration, was designed around language arts and specifically reading comprehension, because Reader's Theater is actually a very good teaching strategy in promoting reading comprehension. And this will be designed for around a third grade level. So first of all, what is Reader's Theater? Well, it's actually quite simple. Many of us have probably done this before, either with it being called by name or not. Some teachers may have chosen to present it as calling it Reader's Theater, and some teachers may not have chosen to do that. But in a nutshell, it is when readers take a script, and it's largely the same as a script for a play or a film or other things like that. And the readers are all assigned roles that they are to play. And this is actually where it can be fun as well as educational, because the students are able to embody that character and speak as that character would speak, and it can actually be a lot of fun. And if they choose to pursue theater later in middle or high school or even beyond that, this can actually build a pretty strong foundation for um, dramatic reading and acting and other things such as that. Um, Now, when it gets into the learning part, they have to know, one, who their character is, two, when it's their turn to speak, and three, what kind of expression they're supposed to be reading with. So, and in order to help students that may be struggling with taking turns in a dialogue or a conversation, you can either encourage them to highlight their part in the script, or you can highlight it for them. And this will just help everybody stay a little more organized and not lose their place. But it also becomes very important that students pay attention to who's speaking and what they're saying, so they know when it's their turn to come in and what they're supposed to say afterwards. So this is a very good reading strategy to promote fluency and comprehension when it comes to reading. And when the whole class is doing this, um, you can encourage them to read expressively and kind of develop their character. And it shows them how dialogue flows between characters in a story, and they get to experience that firsthand. Whereas with silent reading or the teacher reading to the class, they don't really get that same experience as when the whole class is participating and having this dialogue with each other. So, and this the script itself also becomes important when it comes time to ask questions to determine, are the students comprehending? Are they understanding what they're reading? Are they actually gaining something from this experience? Um, because if it's not a formal assessment, then you can probably leave the script in front of the students, and they can refer back to that. And when they're asked a question like, "Oh yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere," they can go back to the script and find it and say, "Oh yeah, I know this is the answer because right here, this character said this, or this happened," or other things such as that. So in the teaching demonstration that I am going to be doing, I will have two friends sitting in as third grade students, because I don't have any third grade students that I know to participate in this. And we're going to be reading a three-person script entitled "My Friend is Sad." Um, the title may sound depressing, but it's actually kind of humorous. And so I'm going to encourage them to read expressively and listen to one another and know when it's their turn to read. Um, Now, in a full length lesson, it would probably be a good idea to have your students read the script 2 or 3 times. And many Reader's Theater scripts are have 10 or more roles, which would be better suited for a larger class. But given circumstances with everything right now, I was only able to do this with 2 other people and myself. So that's why I'm using a 3-person script. And so after the script has been read through and everybody feels confident with how they did, then I'm going to lead an example of a discussion between teachers and third grade students about the text and ask them comprehension questions to see if they understood what they were reading. And if they aren't sure of an answer, they'll be encouraged to talk to each other, ask each other for help, consult the script, go back and see um, where certain events happened or what a specific character said in order to show that they understand what happened in the text. And so this will give them a lot of useful strategies for reading comprehension, connecting the question back to, oh yeah, I remembered that happened, so I can look here and I can be confident in the answer that I'm giving. And it also helps with fluency and expression when somebody's reading out loud, because they kind of, especially if you have a long enough lesson that the students are reading the script more than once, they can get into the rhythm of feeling how the dialogue is supposed to flow, and that helps a lot with speed. And once they get any unfamiliar words out of the way, if they've read it enough times, then they build up speed, build up fluency, and as we know, that leads to further understanding of what they're reading. And so the objectives for this lesson will be that they are to answer the comprehension questions with as much accuracy as possible. And since they have the text in front of them, I'm going to be asking for 100% accuracy, since they're able to discuss amongst themselves and consult with the text in order to give their answers. And then specifically, if I were working with actual third grade students, I would, and especially English language learners, I would ask that they read fluency and with 90% accuracy of the words, because um, most of the words in here are very basic. And even for English language learners, they should be words that they're familiar with. So so I would, if I were writing this as a learning objective for an actual lesson, I would be a little more lenient and say 90% accuracy. And if they are having difficulties, then they're given the opportunity to self-correct or ask a peer to help. And then the links will be posted in here after I am done recording both of my videos. And then there are my references for this. So thank you for watching.